Hey, what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the Fury versus Usyk Is On video, as Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk have agreed to compete for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the world. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I get as I continue to build my channel up here. So, Fury and Usyk, what's interesting about this Is On video is we know the fight's going to happen, we just don't exactly know when yet. But the two have agreed. They are going to meet for the Undisputed title. The earliest talks I've heard is like December. But it's all depending on Fury's fight with what's his name, with Francis Ngannou, when they compete on October 28th, which is not an exhibition bout, although it probably should be, but it's actually a professional bout. But nobody's really expecting Ngannou to do anything in this fight against Fury. But is Fury gonna get hurt, or is he gonna make it a quick night for Ngannou, because he has this fight with Usyk lined up? And the fight's taking place in Saudi Arabia, where it originally fell apart. So unless the Saudi Arabia money doesn't come in, or can't be committed, then this fight is taking place for sure. And there's actually a rematch clause in the contract. The loser can activate a rematch clause. It's very similar to the Crawford and Spence showdown. The winner can activate a rematch clause whenever they want. So, it looks like, well, an immediate rematch clause is what I mean. So it looks like these two guys are going to lock horns for sure. It just depends on what happens and if Fury gets injured or anything. And hey, that could happen. He could suffer a cut, he can injure himself in any kind of way, and that could delay the fight. But the fight's supposed to take place. It's supposed to be for Undisputed. The other governing bodies are already maneuvering, to get their titles, their mandatories, settled. And it's good, because now that these two guys are fighting and we know an automatic rematch clause is in the contract, the rest of the division can start moving around. They can say, because pretty much now the way I see it is 2024 is going to be Fury and Usyk 1 and 2. You're going to see these two guys fight each other twice. So anybody, unless it's such a blitzing victory for one or the other and the other guy doesn't want the fight. But to be honest, if Fury wins, dominates Usyk, and let's say he knocks him out, right? That's the only way I could see Usyk not wanting a rematch. But I don't know if Fury's gonna win such a one-sided fight like that. And then if Usyk were to pull off a victory, I can't see him knocking Fury out, maybe winning a decision. So I'm like, well, then Fury's probably gonna for sure want a rematch. So it's kind of complicated. It really is, how this is all gonna shake out. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't really care, because I'm looking forward to it a bunch. It's a big fight. It's for Undisputed. Fury holds the WBC belt and Usyk holds the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF titles. And again, it frees. What I like about it is the most, outside of having one true undisputed champion and one true #1 guy in the division, what I really like about it is it opens the door for the rest of the division to start fighting, because this division is deep. I like the heavyweight division a lot. There's a lot of potential good matches out there, but these guys aren't fighting, and they haven't been, and it's sad, because there's so many good matchups to be made, to set things up. But one potential showdown that comes from this fight, because we know the rematch, the IBF has already said that if the winner of this fight decides to invoke their rematch, then they will they will strip that belt, and Filip Hrgović, the mandatory #1 contender, would fight the next available challenger, which is Anthony Joshua, the former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. That would be very appealing. Then I would think the WBO is also going to upgrade Zhilei Zhang up to WBO champion, and then who would he fight next? You know, he's talking with he was mentioning guys like Joseph Parker and different people like that. You know, he just wants to stay busy and fight guys like that. But you know, I think Zhilei Zhang could fight whoever the hell he wants. Even his guy was saying that, you know, talking about Andrew Ruiz, saying Andrew Ruiz needs to be realistic and logical about what he's going to get paid. But there's talks of Zhilei Zhang and Deontay Wilder fighting. So, and I think that's Wilder's way of potentially fighting the winner, whoever comes out of the Fury and Usyk thing, if he grabs a hold of another title. I think that opens the door later on for unification. For, you know, I still think Wilder, and Fury said he, you know, in the past that he's open to a 4th fight with Wilder. I think that opens the door, but I also think it opens the door for Wilder and Joshua to collide for, you know, to determine a new champ, you know, or to unify belts. So there's just a lot of potential matchups and coming out of Fury and Usyk, and I like that they got the automatic rematch clause. I like that the other governing bodies are moving. The WBA, in my opinion, is not going to move at all because Usyk already cleared up that mandatory. So the WBA should hold strong. The WBO, I believe, if a rematch is invoked, I think the WBO is going to do the same thing, and Zhilei Zhang will be upgraded to champion. And then it's up to the WBC and what they decide to do. But I don't think the WBC is going to mandate Fury to fight anybody. The WBC has been very good when they have a big name as champion. They allow those guys to hold on to those belts and not make mandatories all, you know, right away. So or damn near at all. Canelo's been benefit of that. So is Charlo. Both the Charlos actually. So you know, the WBC and I think the WBA titles stay intact, but I think the WBO and the IBF belts become available. Zhilei Zhang will be upgraded to full champ, and him being champion with the Chinese audience and that whole Asian market that he can bring, that he already brings, it makes him a viable name, and a guy like Deontay Wilder could go after him, and then maybe Joshua goes after Hrgović for the IBF belt. And while the other two guys are clearing up, you know, while Fury and Usyk are clearing up, you know, their rematch or whatever, for the 2 belts, you could potentially have Wilder and Zhang, the winner of Wilder and Zhang fighting the winner of Hrgović and Joshua to unify belts again. So there, like I said, there's just so many options here. And it's so exciting, and I can't wait to see this fight. So Fury versus Usyk is on. We'll get a date after October 28th and the Fury Ngannou fight, and that's it. So Fury versus Usyk is on for the undisputed heavyweight title. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.